want to say good evening. As we say in Italian, buonasera. I hope everyone brought an appetite. As we say in Italian, buonasera. I hope everyone brought an appetite. There is plenty of food. We'd like to start by welcoming you to La Taglia a Tavola. This is a celebration of richness of the Italian table. Tonight's event acknowledges the past, honors the present, and provides for the future. We are acknowledging that our Italian heritage connects us, perhaps most richly at the table. Around these tables tonight, we are honoring the present by recognizing those of Italian heritage who contributed in some way to the enriching of the table. By being here tonight, we are providing for the future, since the proceeds from this evening will be used to fund culinary apprenticeships. The Costantino family of Venda Ravioli has provided us with many tables tonight, and from that, we should, and they should enjoy 100 years. So I toast them, Cent'anni, to the Costantinos. Will Alan and his wife please stand? The recipients will be all getting this beautiful plate. This was designed by artist Jacqueline Rice, crafted in Italy. Very, very beautiful. She actually does work in a region very close to Gubbio, where many of these plates, or this kind of work, is done. So I just wanted to have you take a look at this. She's from Rhode Island School of Design, and actually goes back and forth and still does a lot of work in Italy. So this is the plate. Everybody take a look at that. You can actually see it over on the screens. Well, I didn't drop it, so on we go. Venda chose to name this award not for themselves, but in honor of Mayor CIANCI, since he already exemplifies its ideals. He used the gifts of his heritage, in this case, the sale of his family's marinara sauce, to raise money for needy Providence students to continue their education. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Mayor Vincent CIANCI.
Thank you very much, Steve Cassione, and welcome to everybody who's come to one of the nicest and one of the most elegant and most delicious eating events ever in the history of the city of Providence. And I can say that because I'm a great eater in the city of Providence. First of all, Steve, let me say that you could have done a better job for us with the weather. As you know, Steve is the weatherman on ABC Channel 6, and it poured and rained right before we began this wonderful event tonight. But we still have over 300 people who came out to celebrate something so important. And I'm deeply honored to be here, and I'm deeply honored that you're here. You know, we have artists and we have business leaders who continue to shape and propel the prominence of the most delectable, exciting, and romantic and hearty dinners in the world. Look at that menu tonight. And we celebrate the foods of generations. And what's going to happen here tonight is we're going to honor 6 people. And we're going to honor them for what their contributions have been. And the proceeds of tonight's event go to the scholarship fund that we established several years ago that provide scholarship aid money, much needed money, for young people who want to proceed in life with an education. And it's a special night tonight because the money that we raise here starts a fund for someone who is going to study culinary arts or study culinary science in Italy and bring about the kind of education in their lives that will promote Italian-American or Italian culinary experiences here in Providence and across America. So we celebrate that. We also celebrate Venda Ravioli and Alan Costantino. I want Alan to stand up and take a bow, because this was his idea. Alan? As you know, Alan Costantino is the best pasta maker in the United States of America. There's no one that makes pasta better than Alan Costantino. Alan Costantino, as you know, runs Venda. He not only has a store that's not that large in one of the greatest neighborhoods in America, Federal Hill, which is the seat of Italian-American heritage in America, but he also has a pasta factory that he's building. And he distributes that ravioli and that wonderful, wonderful pasta from Maine to Florida, and I hope from Rhode Island to California by the time he's done. And before you know it, he'll be exporting pasta to Italy. It's so good. So Alan, thank you for having this idea, and your wonderful family, your beautiful wife, your mother, your brother, who is one of our great state representatives in the city of Providence to the state legislature. We celebrate Venda, its great history, its great legacy, and its great contribution tonight. And I want to thank you for your picking my name and our scholarship fund as the recipient of the generosity and the largesse of all of those who are here tonight. So tonight we begin the celebration. I want to recognize some people who have not been recognized. What good is a great Italian dinner? You can see them prepare this great food on those screens in a great new hotel in the city. But what good is an Italian meal celebrated in the greatest Italian-American city in America if you don't have a mayor from an adjoining city, former mayor, that has a great Italian population and who was an ambassador to the Vatican, which is in Rome. And to stand up and take a bow, I'd like Ray Flynn, the former mayor of Boston, who's with us tonight, and also the former ambassador to the Vatican, and he loves my sauce, to stand up and take a bow. Ambassador Flynn. I want you to know that when the president of Italy was here not that long ago, I gave him a jar of the mayor's own marinara sauce. And I want you to know that he's written me a letter and he wants more of it to be sent to Italy, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful accolade to a wonderful sauce. In addition to that, I have a friend of mine who is here tonight, who you've all probably seen, but he came because he heard about Venda's great ravioli and pasta and heard about these great chefs. And we didn't even call him. He got an invitation in the mail. He sent a check, by the way, which I want you all to know. We have a lot in common because they call him Zorba the Greek. They call me Zorba the Italian. Anthony Quinn, my good friend, who happened to be with us tonight. So we celebrate tonight friendship, we celebrate a great table of food, and we also celebrate a great scholarship event. And Alan, you brought us to the table tonight, and like any authentic dinner, the table is the place where we celebrate, where we rejoice, and where we discuss, and where we find complete satisfaction. And you brought the table of Italy here tonight. I don't think a lot of Italians eat like this every night. With quail and lobster and salmon and all kinds of wonderful Epicurean delicacies, but we have a special night tonight. And you brought us a great deal of joy to the table, and most importantly, you brought family to the table to celebrate something. And as a lucky member of this family, I want you to know that I'm deeply proud to be one of the kind of honorees, because you have chosen my name to make this beautiful plate and give it out to such great award winners. And what great award winners they are. PBS chef Marianne Esposito, who's taught us so much through Ciao Italia and her books and her television shows. And Gina Gallo, whose Gallo wines have enhanced and made perfect the dining experience. Cirio Maccioni, whose Le Cirque taught New York City and the rest of this country the meaning of fine dining. Leandro Rizzuto, whose company, family company, Con Air, has not only made us look all better with their great look better products, but also their world-class Cuisinart products. And I want you to know that right here in Providence, Rhode Island, at the Rhode Island School of Design, there's a whole project with some of, I think, Cuisinart's former employees who are designing the kitchen of the future. Now, they won't pay any taxes, but they'll design a kitchen that will eventually be put all over the country, you know. And of course, the late Jack Paralisi, represented here tonight by my favorite lady, Camille Paralisi. Jack was a figure of tremendous respect and integrity in the city of Providence and the state of Rhode Island for so many years, and created a wonderful dining experience before all the rest of the restaurants that we're so famous for now came into their own. And that was the place that you would go to, and you still go to, that had such a tremendous effect on our lifestyle. And I want to thank Camille for accepting this award on behalf of Jack, and I want to congratulate her. And let me tell you more so, because when I was a kid, I would go into her restaurant when I was 17 and 18 years old, and I'd sign my father's name, and she wouldn't say anything about it. She just let me do it. And I want to thank her for that, and I hope she got paid. And Stanley Tucci, I want you to know that we've got a great film commission here, and Anthony Quinn told me he wants you to direct his next movie, Stanley. You've captured on film the grand scale of the Italian family dinner, and you've inadvertently shared with the world your family's recipe for a drum-shaped torte in your brilliant Big Night, that great movie that we've all enjoyed. Well, our own Big Night's wonderful dinner would not be possible without Providence's own, led by Walter Potenza, who's probably in the kitchen now, absolutely supervising, yelling, and screaming. I think it's an event tonight to bring all these chefs from all these restaurants around Providence, and you know who they are, and I'm going to repeat them, but imagine bringing chefs together, working in the same kitchen from competing restaurants. That's probably more of a feat in an event than settling the Middle East crisis. Don't you think? But our meal has been prepared by some of the greatest. Ralph Conti of Raphael's Bistro, and Tom and Roseanne Buckner of the famous L'Epicurio, Dave Mundi of Davio's Providence, Nino D'Urso of Capriccio, Luca Rigioli of Walters, and Casey Riley of Agora right here at the Westin, and Cynthia Salvato of Johnson & Wales, the pastry chef instructor also of the Dowry Cookie Company. Let's have a big hand for all those great chefs who are working in the kitchen. You know, all of you here this evening are making possible something very important, a scholarship that I'd like someday to receive myself, and that is to go study cooking in Italy. Can you believe that? I'd resign to go do that. That would be a wonderful thing, but one that would benefit a culinary student to study cooking in Italy and bring it back here, because as I've been told by some of our restaurateurs and some of our great purveyors of Italian cooking, that we don't really have in the colleges and the culinary schools real programs on Italian cooking. It comes down, handed down from parent to parent or whatever, but we don't really specialize in it. So this is the beginning of that. And the lifeblood of our scholarship fund has been funded by the mayor's own marinara sauce, which has raised quite a bit of money, by the way. And it's a commitment to creativity, and the spirit that all of you are here adds to that great support for our efforts to make scholarships possible. Right now, we have 38 scholars in school on CIANCI scholarship, or marinara scholarships, I like to call them. And not one of them has dropped out of school since we started picking up some of the tuition payments. And we started to issue those payments. And that's really proud for me, because you tonight being here are assuring that the number will continue to grow, and the fields of study will be wonderfully spiced now with a culinary scholarship. And you've ensured that these scholars of the future will be heading toward a new world, a world that belongs to generations of families of this country, a new world that holds in its hands our heart and our souls and tonight, Italian Americans. And some of you tonight here are Italian Americans, some are not. But you know, the ethnic groups that have populated America over the years are not much different. I go around the city quite a bit, and I see 60 different languages spoken, and I hear different music from one neighborhood to the next, and I see different ways of preparing food. I smell different foods. I see different dances, and it's a wonderful eclectic mix of people who are part of a changing demographic in a city that's a Renaissance city. And I see every day how that builds America. And I know that Italian Americanism Italian Americans that we celebrate tonight in their cooking has been a part of that. And we all remember that, as I said before, that it's not a different experience for many different ethnic groups. Irish Americans, Italian Americans, people who come from Latino countries, people from Mexico, people from today from the Muslim empire or the Muslim countries who come here to make a home. And we get our strength in America from the differences and from the diversity that we celebrate. But the Italians are what we celebrate tonight. And we all know their experience of their coming here. They're coming to these shores with hopes and dreams and aspirations and looking for new life. And they worked hard. They built their churches in their neighborhoods, and they built their families, and they worked hard to make sure that as years went on, they became part of the American experience, the American dream. And isn't it wonderful that after sacrificing, as our mothers did, working 2 jobs in factories and fathers working hard, sometimes their fingers to the bones to provide money just to support a household, just to send their kid to college, just to make their lives a little bit better, because when they came here, they were not accepted, as other ethnic groups were not. But as time went on, they made it all happen, and they were successful. And it's wonderful that we have tonight, because tonight we celebrate what it's like to be Italian-American, and we have Lieutenant Governor Bernie Giacovone, who's sitting with us. We have the Vice President of Johnson & Wales and son of a former governor, Chris Del Sesto, with us tonight. We have former Governor Noel with us tonight, who's half Italian, by the way, and so many others who have lived that Italian-American experience. And no matter what you go, where you go, or who you are in America today, you will see the effect of that, as you will find the effect and the contribution of so many other ethnic groups. So tonight, we celebrate those who were Italian and those who have made a contribution that we're all so proud of. So the wonderful 6 brilliant leaders who have blessed us with their presence tonight, I salute. And I want to just recognize them if I can. We're going to be giving them awards, but I certainly want to thank them for coming. I certainly want to say that they give us tremendous joy. They give us a tremendous, tremendous feeling of pride. And just think about Marianne Esposito, who has taught us so much through Ciao Italia and her books and her wonderful television show. And Sirio Massione, who taught everybody in New York what it was like to eat a great meal, and at Le Cirque restaurant. And Leandro Rizzuto, whose family company, Con Air, has not only made us look better, as I said, but cook better. And certainly Gina Gallo, whose Gallo wines have enhanced and made perfect the dining experience, and Stanley Tucci and the late Jack Paralisi. Those really are products of what I've been talking about. So tonight we celebrate America. We celebrate what it's like to be an Italian-American, and we remember that we're part of a great country made up of so many different ethnic groups. We celebrate a great family, the Constantino family, great chefs in the kitchen who are working, and celebrate you as we look to the future and are hopeful that individuals who receive the awards of this scholarship fund that we established not that long ago will be able to go on in life and remember that there were people who supported them and people who were very much proud of them for carrying on a great tradition. And by the way, the scholarship recipients who we support tonight are not Italian Americans solely. They're people made up of the complexion of the city of Providence. They're African Americans, they're Latino Americans, they're Southeast Asian Americans, they're Italian Americans, because that is what the fabric, the mosaic of America is today. That's what our city is, and that's where the strength of America will lie. And we're all a part of that tonight. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations for being here at a great event.
Thank you, Mayor. Just so you all know that this timing is working very well. While we give out the awards, the pasta will be cooking, and so will the rest of the dinner. So far, so good. No rescue squads have come in, so I know that everything is okay in the kitchen. Okay, we're going to begin with our first honoree tonight, and I want you to kind of both sides of the room, just draw your attention to the screens as I read this. Marianne Esposito. She grew up learning the tradition of Italian cooking from her Italian-born grandmothers and her mother, as well as from the Italian cooking school she attended. Of course, we know Marianne Esposito better as our culinary Virgil, guiding and teaching us around the kitchen through Ciao Italia, her PBS show. Ciao Italia has 1 million viewers per episode, is one of only 2 cooking series to be scheduled on all 347 public television stations, and can even be seen in Japan, England, and Canada. Her cookbooks, which feature many of the recipes seen on the show, have sold over 375,000 copies. Not surprisingly, Marianne Esposito is actively engaged in preserving the culinary history of homemade Italian food. Each year, she returns to Italy to reaffirm her heritage and to gather new ideas from her television series. and she often comes here to Rhode Island, to Venda Ravioli, to sign her cookbooks. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Marian Esposito.
My proclamations are here. Here's the proclamation. You get out of... Marian, I got to give you this. This is for you. This plate, by the way, was designed by Jacqueline Royce. It's a gorgeous, wonderful plate that Steve told you about.
Well, thank you, Mayor. CIANCI. CIANCI. Let's get that straight. It's a privilege to be here tonight to see so many of you. And before I say anything further, I want to thank Alan and his family for honoring me tonight in this way. As the mayor mentioned, I have spent time at Venda Ravioli, and I've spent time in Providence when my series first went on the air. Providence was one of the cities that we first visited to do remotes on Federal Hill. So it holds a special place in my heart where I could see and reaffirm my own Italian-American heritage. So I thank you, Alan, for inviting me, and I want to thank your committee as well for all the work that they did to put this event on tonight. Now, not too long ago, as I was getting ready for an event, I was running out the door, and I had the Today Show on. And all of a sudden, I knew I was coming to Providence for this evening, and that was the first time I had heard Mayor CIANCI. So I'm watching the Today Show as I'm going out the door, and all of a sudden, coming up next, the mayor of Providence with his own marinara sauce. So I thought, wait a minute, I better stay tuned, because I'm going to meet this man. And sure enough, there was Mayor CIANCI on the Today Show, and I was getting a little nervous because now I thought, wait a minute, I've got a little competition here. The mayor's got his own marinara sauce, and I was afraid that it might be a little better than mine. So I thought I would bring something along that could go with your marinara sauce. What is it? I mean, I haven't tried your marinara sauce yet, but I do have a little present for you.
Ah. Pasta.
This is for you, fatto a mano.
Oh, look at this. Oh, it's like gold. Look at that. It's pasta.
Okay. I hope, Mayor, that that's going to go well with your, and those are the directions. You don't want to cook that more than 3 minutes. Because you know, fresh pasta cooks in just a few moments.
Thank you so much.
Before I end, though, I just want to say that my program, Ciao Italia, believes very much in the mission of what this scholarship committee is all about. We are dedicated to preserving Italian tradition, and believe you me, there are plenty of people out there who love Italian food, because I hear this all the time. So in the spirit of that, Mayor CIANCI, Ciao Italia would like to help support the efforts of the scholarship committee by presenting a donation for that worthy student who will be studying in Italy. And thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
You know, I can't send her home without a wonderful citizen citation for your wonderful work, which is very short. It's for your brilliant achievements as a cookbook author par excellence and devoted educator, and your stirring performance as host of PBS Ciao Italia, your efforts that promote the preservation of Italian culinary traditions worldwide, and that earn you the affection and appreciation of aficionados of great Italian cooking everywhere, for which you are honored on this day by the City of Providence and the Venda Ravioli's L'Italia a Tavola Gala Dinner. I want to give you this citizen citation, but more importantly, I want to give you a jar of the mayor's own marinara sauce, which was
I'll be sure to use it.
Our second recipient, Gina Gallo. When Ernest and Giulio Gallo founded E. and J. Gallo Winery in 1933, they would have been thrilled to know that over 60 years later, their success story would carry on with the Giulio's granddaughter, Gina Gallo. At 10, she was pruning in the family vineyards. By 23, she was a Notre Dame graduate and apprentice winemaker, working closely with her grandfather. Today, at 30, she is a full-fledged winemaker, building the winery at Sonoma into one of the best in the world. At Sonoma, she is joined by other third-generation Gallos, like older brother Matt. In her words, Gina Gallo says, "As long as we respect the land, honor the vineyards, and blend the wine in the honest, straightforward manner that my grandfather taught me, then Gallo wine should please our customers for many generations to come." Accepting this award tonight for Gina Gallo is John Doherty, Division Manager of Gallo Sonoma.
We have this citizen citation for Gina Gallo, which I'd like you to present to her. A wonderful dish, which I'm sure you'll give her, and a jar
The best part.
mayor's old marinara sauce.
I'm sure she'll
Thank you very
enjoy it.
much. Thank you.
I want to thank all of you for giving Gina this great tribute. She wishes she could be here herself tonight, but as many of you know, it's the middle of winemaking season. She just got done with the harvest, and she's back at the winery making wine as we speak. One of the things that she's most proud of is her Italian heritage, and one of the things she's embarking upon for the Gallo Sonoma winery is the production of some Italian varietals from our California properties in Sonoma County. Wines such as Sangioveses and Barberas and Pinot Grigios. So she's really looking back at that heritage and what she learned from her grandfather, Giulio Gallo, to really move her ahead in the wine business. And she's very excited about it. She's very passionate about the wine business, and she's certainly very excited about her Italian heritage, and she's an inspiration to all of us that work with her. I'm very proud to be able to accept this on her behalf, having graduated from Bryant College, knowing the Rhode Island community, the Italian community here, and it's certainly a treat for me to be here. Last time I saw the mayor was at another wine and dinner event, so of course good eating and good wines is always a treat. So I thank all of you. There's some particular people here, Nancy Barr, who I know quite well, Walter Potenza, that I'd like to thank, and of course all of you for making this honor possible. Thanks.
Thank you very much. One more, then we come back in between you? Okay, go ahead. Okay, wait.
In 1974, Sirio Maccioni opened Le Cirque on East 65th Street in New York with his lovely wife, Egidiana, at his side. And the world's cognoscenti have been lining up ever since. Indeed, Sirio is Manhattan's most charismatic restaurateur, the brains, the energy, and the passion behind Le Cirque. Born in the beautiful Tuscan town of Montecatini Terme, Sirio Maccioni would, of course, go on to make his mark at Le Cirque, with its drop-dead glamour, four-star food, and higher inspiration, winning countless accolades, along the way including the coveted James Beard Restaurant of the Year Award in 1995. Today, his three sons are immersed in the restaurant business and have recently opened their own dynamic spot in Manhattan. Never content to rest himself, Sirio Maccioni oversaw Le Cirque's move to new premises this past May, and the dramatically revamped room has been rechristened Le Cirque 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, Sirio Maccioni.
Look at the cat. Not yet.
Say something.
Good evening. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Rhode Island, never been here before, the mayor, and all of you. I also want to thank you, the rest of my family, which they are in New York working. We are in the restaurant business in New York, and now it's fashionable to work 7 days a week. I hate to work. But again, thank you for being here, to have me here. One thing I want to say, against many people that they feel that Italian around the world, if the Italian around the world they get together, the world would be Italian, because I've found Italian all over, and I'm very proud to be Italian. I'm very proud to come from Tuscany. My neighbor, they were Leonardo da Vinci, Giotto, Dante, and so on and so on. When somebody get me mad because when I was young, I went to France, and they were telling me, he's Italian, but he's very good. Then I went to Germany, and then I come to this country, and sometimes I was still hearing, he's Italian, but he's very good. Of course we are very good. We are Italian. So for me, only exists the Italian and the rest of the world. I like everybody. I respect everybody, but I am what I am. I'm here tonight. I'm here tonight with my son, which is much more intelligent than me. I have two other sons. I want to have a lawyer. I want to have a doctor. I want to have something like this. I have a person like me that will sell soup. What is a restaurateur? If a restaurateur thinks to be more intelligent than somebody that sells soup, is in the wrong business. If you were very intelligent, we would not be restaurateur. And so all my colleagues, sometimes they get mad at me, but I say, yes, what we are. We are restaurateur, you can call anything you want. You can call him a presumptuous waiter or whatever it is. But so we are doing the best we can. Again, thank you very much. It's been a very busy year for us. And I believe in the last 6 months, this is the third time that I'm not at my restaurant. And I'm glad that I'm here, that some of my customers, they are not there to complain. So Mr. Quinn and Madame Quinn, they can vouch for me, because when they come over there, if I'm not there, they call me, so even if I'm home, I go in. Again, thank you to all of you, and thank you for inviting also my son Mario. Thank you very much.
I have this proclamation for you, Sirio, for your superb leadership and devotion to excellence you display as owner and host of Le Cirque 2000 in New York, where aromatic, savory creations of resplendent refinement set new standards for the culinary arts, furthering the grand traditions of Italian and continental cooking, and earning you the worldwide acclaim and an honored place on this day at Venda Ravioli's L'Italia at Tavola Gala Dinner to benefit the Scholarship Foundation. I want to give you that, and a jar of the sauce, which I know you've never had before. But for you, I also have something else. I think I have
Mario,
it.
tomorrow we have a special.
Yeah, going to be used. Don't be surprised if you don't see that on the menu. Now, I have been, because I've been so nervous being around all these great celebrities, I had keys to the city for everybody here. These keys to the city depict Roger Williams crossing the river, coming over here and discovering our city 300 years ago. I have one for our previous recipients, but I forgot to give it to them, and I make mistakes. I said when I got elected 2 times ago, I make a lot of mistakes. This is the first one I made. But I want to give you a key, which all the other recipients will have, and thank you very much for coming and for being with us and sharing in this great evening.
One last thing.
Yes.
Thank you to all the chefs, and thank you for the other honoree. I'm very honored to be with you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Eat well, drink even better, and you will feel like an illustrious person, reads the motto at Camille's Roman Garden on Bradford Street in Providence. And our late dear friend, Jack Paralisi, did just that throughout his long and fruitful life. Indeed, he turned his family restaurant into a place where our families felt at home. A fixture on the Providence scene for decades, Jack Paralisi took over Marconi's Roman Garden from his father in 1952, renaming it Camille's in honor of his wife. He always claimed that he learned the fine points of cooking from his mother, and like his mother, he watched nearly every plate that left his kitchen. Most importantly, Jack gave many of today's young area chefs and restaurant managers their first start. His contribution to the appreciation of the Italian table in Providence will not soon be forgotten. Accepting this award on behalf is his wife, Camille.
Oh.
Camille, let me give you this.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Well, where do you want me to talk here? What can I say after following all these wonderful people? I want to thank, mostly of all, Alan Constantino. Stand up, Alan. Thank you very, very much. And you, of course, my buddy since the time he was a little boy. Well, I can't say another word. I'm just overwhelmed by the whole thing. I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you very, very much.
I'll give you a key to the city. Camille, I want to give you two. You know something? You, of all the people who are being
You're not
honored.
going to give me your sauce.
No, wait a minute. Who's setting up the sauce?
Oh, no, wait.
I want to give you a key to the city because with all the taxes you've paid over all those years in the city, I can't think of one person who deserves a key to the city more than you do. That's right.
Thank you.
And I won't give you the sauce because you have so much of it already. But how about some coffee? We have some coffee. I got some Mayor's coffee here for you.
You sent it to me already.
Thank you very much, Camille. And I have this product. Wait a minute, I have that other thing too. Want to read? I have the last one. Where is those? They're right here. And Camille, this is also for
so
you.
wonderful.
We have two more. Camille, this is for you. Jack Paralisi, as we all know, was such a great friend and such a great restaurateur and a pioneer. And this is to the family of Jack Paralisi in honor of his memory of the long, fruitful, and glorious life of Jack Paralisi, who over the course of decades of devotion personally ensured the success of Camille's Roman Garden, beloved to generations of patrons and a training ground of tremendous value to young area chefs, earning Jack the affection and gratitude of all those who dedicate themselves to the preservation of Italian culinary traditions, for which he is posthumously honored on this day at Venda Ravioli's L'Italia a Tavola Gala Dinner to benefit the Mayor Vincent A. Cianci Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In 1959, Leandro Rizzuto and his Italian-born parents saw a need in the marketplace for professional hair care appliances. And so with a $100 investment, they founded Conair. Today, Conair is a global leader whose diverse products are sold worldwide, with this year's sales expected to be in excess of $700 million. The company's enormous contribution to the culinary world is well known through their Cuisinart brand name, the leader in cookware and kitchen appliances. Lee Rizzuto is the sole owner, president, and chairman of the board of Conair, but his favorite title is Nonno, which he is called by his 9 grandchildren. Lee Rizzuto is also a leader in charitable causes. Last weekend alone, he raised $1.5 million toward the National Italian-American Foundation Scholarship Fund. Lee Rizzuto thanks his parents for their sacrifices and hard work, attributing his success to their inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, Leandro Rizzuto.
Lee, this is for you. Congratulations and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, honored guests, and other honorees. This is something which I really don't get involved in taking too many awards because I'm somewhat of a shy person, but when Cyril called me, I thought it'd be befitting to take the award in memory of my mother and dad who sacrificed so much. And when the mayor was talking about, America being a melting pot, it's a fantastic melting pot. And I remember when the company, we went public back in, actually it was Columbus Day, 1971, and there were 5 companies going public that day, and the market dropped, and the other 4 companies bailed out, and Conair was the only company that went public. And my mother, had tears in her eyes when the investment bankers gave her a significant check, and I says, Mom, only in America does this happen. So I'm a great believer that in life you're limited only by your imagination. And I totally enjoy, putting something back in this world for the young generation to give them the same opportunity that God gave me, like my mother and father gave me. And I cherish, the heritage of my Italian ancestry. And when my mom came to America, she was 4 years old, and she came over with her mother and her sister, and in 1915 opened up her first beauty shop at the age of 15 years old, opened up her first beauty shop in Philadelphia. My dad was one of 11 brothers, no girls in the family. I guess that alone set a record in the Guinness Book in Sicily somewhere. But he had two other brothers in America as barbers, and he came over at 17 years old and became a barber. And eventually, they got married and created the beauty business. And we started Conair, as mentioned on the video, in 1959 with $100. I was actually working for combustion engineering in New York, and then I moved up to Windsor, Connecticut, and I was working 70 hours a week. Almost as bad, Sarah, as the restaurant business, because I go to work 9 o'clock at night to 9 in the morning, go home, didn't go home, spent some time in the city with other work, then I'd go home, go to sleep, and go back to work. And then eventually the Korean War broke out, and I was 17 years old, and they were afraid that I'd be drafted, so I had to go to NYU and take 16 credits. So I worked 9 o'clock at night to 9 in the morning, go to school from 9 to 3, and go home. And during this whole period of time, I saved a lot of money, and I bought myself a brand new Cadillac after 2 years. And I never forget, we were here up in Connecticut, and who came in to visit the facility was Combustion Engineering, was Admiral Rickover. And the first thing he spots in the parking lot is my Cadillac. So they, needless to say, on the loudspeaker announced, the owner of license plate number so-and-so, please come over. And I guess being a smart kid from Brooklyn, I had the car registered in my father's name. So I got away with the story, or else they would have probably investigated how I made so much money working for the company. And then the story came about, my father invented the hair rollers, and I was home that summer, I was doing programming for the company, and he said to me, I invented this item, let's go in business together. And I said, well, what do we do for money? And he says, we'll sell your car. Right? Only in America. So we sold the car. We had $100 left over because my mother owed her cousins and other relatives in the family, so she paid off all the debt they had, paid everybody off. We had $100 left over, and that was the start of Conair. And about 1989, we acquired Cuisinart, which is the finest name in culinary appliances and cookware. And today that company, 5 years, 1989 we acquired it, so 8 years later, they'll do over $100 million, and the company itself is really growing excellent. And I take pride as an Italian American. I'm probably more Italian than a lot of our paisans back in Italy, because I remember what my mother, my father, and my grandmother taught me as far as the values of honesty and hard work and putting something back in this country, for the young people. So I accept the award tonight in honor of my ancestry and my mother and father who gave me what I have today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay right there. Lee. I also have a proclamation. It's for your renowned accomplishments as president and chairman of the board of Conair, on the cutting edge of new developments as the originator and manufacturer of Cuisinart kitchen appliances, superb products that have revolutionized the culinary arts and earned lavish accolades from chefs and food service professionals around the globe, and for the dedication you display to the preservation of Italian tradition, for which you are honored here this evening by the Venda Ravioli's Italia Tavola Gala Dinner to benefit this foundation. Thank you very much. We're going to do a special coffee product with the new coffee machine they got coming out. They're going to have the mayor's coffee with every one of those machines, and of course a jar of the mayor's own sauce. I want you to take.
I can't wait to get to my room tonight. But Vince, what I like to add also is that Cuisinart would like to sponsor the next young person you want to send over for culinary education, and we'll pick up the tab.
As an adolescent, Stanley Tucci spent a year in Florence that he says changed his life. He grew up to embark upon a solid career in film, television, and theater, playing everything from the wayward husband in The Day Trippers to the prime suspect on television's Murder One before directing and starring in the award-winning 1996 movie, Big Night. Tucci co-wrote the screenplay with his cousin, Joseph Fripiano, in part to break away from continuously playing Italian bad guys. Big Night celebrates the importance of food in the Italian community, illustrating how a grand meal can illuminate all that is joyous, as well as bittersweet in life. Recipes featured in the movie have been in the Tucci family for years. At home, he says, food was all we talked about. Together with his wife, Kate, Stanley Tucci is now passing on those Italian traditions to his own family. Fortunately for us, we have Big Night to enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanley Tucci.
Stanley?
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All yours.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'm very flattered and honored to be here with two microphones and all of these very impressive and extraordinary people. My cousin and I started writing this script many years ago, too many years ago. I had hair when we started writing this script. And one of the reasons was to, one of the reasons we wrote it was to try to give maybe a different impression of Italians that we normally see in cinema. Unfortunately, Hollywood has made the choice to portray Italian Americans as only gangsters, and or primarily gangsters, and I think that's unfortunate. As proven tonight, there are a lot of very hard-working, incredibly intelligent and sophisticated people who are Italian American who have made a tremendous success here in this country and have made this country a lot better. I hope that Hollywood will change its ideas, and I hope that myself and others will be the people who can help them do that. I'm so flattered to accept this tonight, and I look forward to eating off of this plate tomorrow morning. Maybe some eggs. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Stay right here. Stanley, it's wonderful to celebrate a career of a movie maker who celebrates the Italians in a positive sense and is proud of his heritage and proud of his background. It's wonderful to have you here tonight. And Stanley, this is for your meteoric success as actor, director, script writer, talents that illuminated the award-winning Big Night, a film that single-handedly increased the appetites of millions of moviegoers, in which the joy, vitality, warmth, and emotional depth of the Italian character and experience are explored with dazzling insight and affection, a contribution to the preservation of the Italian heritage that has earned you a place of honor at tonight's wonderful gala dinner to benefit this scholarship fund. I want to give you that.
Thank you.
I certainly want to give you a key to the city that I don't give to many movie directors, I want you to know, especially ones from here. But I'd like to congratulate you on that.
Thank you so much.
And also give you, certainly,
Am I going to get
a
the sauce?
jar of the mayor's own marinara sauce. Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's have a big round for all of them.
you.